Joe, what was the inspiration behind this play?
The inspiration was I was at a cocktail party one day, and I was talking to people from all over. People were from Boston, they were from Chicago, they were from all over the country. I was telling stories about growing up Italian American in the Bronx. Before you knew it, everybody's hanging around me, like kind of hanging off every word. And I'm like, you guys didn't grow up like this? They seemed to marvel at the fact that I had friends for life that we grew up with in the same neighborhood. Even though we moved apart, we still continue to see each other. And I realized people were interested in it. And it wasn't just the Italian factor, it was the growing up in New York factor that was very interesting to everybody.
Tell me about Marie.
Marie is a very educated woman. She has children, so she talks about her family. She talks about her waspy in-laws and her husband a little bit. But she comes from the Bronx, as many of the characters do, and has moved to Scarsdale, has a very different take on things because she comes out in a more cultured manner.
Tina is a 20-something-year-old girl, year 2000, who is stereotyped as a Guidette. She's not anything you'll see from a reality show, but she does have certain characteristics that are of an Italian American growing up in a New York City neighborhood.
Oh, Frankie is a suburban kid who grew up with everything handed to him from his father, his parents. Doesn't really work for much and just takes it for granted.
And he's the current Jersey Shore.
Current Jersey Shore, club going, you know, totally tan, pumped up, hair gelled, yeah, all that stuff.
Giacomo is the guy from the 70s who was reliving what it was like to be John Travolta in those days and introducing Rocky and the feeling that we had, the powerful Rocky, you know, and everybody in the neighborhood.
My character, Bobby, he's actually a little older than I am, but they were all my cousins when I grew up. You know, the guys that drove the IROCs and listened to the freestyle music, so it was very easy for me to relate because I saw those characters or those family members every single day.
Okay, what does the dancer do?
I come in the 70s, 80s, 90s, in the present day, and I do a little dance with each Guido. I'm starting to feel like being with these guys since January, like I have learned so much.
Like they call a kid on the Jersey Shore Guido, he's not being proud of where he's from. Guido culture is just someone starting in the 1970s with that Saturday Night Fever.
You know, the flashy suits, the hair, the dancing, that whole lifestyle. I see, to me, it means guys like Travolta and Saturday Night Fever.
I believe it is a lifestyle. I think that it's something that really pulls together a number of elements: family, faith, beliefs, wanting good things for your family and children, and taking care of each other. And always the food. Always the food.
Guido is a guy who is very flashy about life, enjoys life, but is real about it at the same time. They don't make up things. It's not being phony.
It's mostly Italian Americans who are second and third generation living in New York City and the surrounding areas.
As the oldest generation Guido, what do you think of the Guidos today?
I think they're trying to catch up to us a little bit, you know? They realized it was pretty good back then.
My dad is one of those guys. My uncle, you know, I grew up with these people and heard stories similar to what you hear on stage. And for me, that hits closer than to what, you know, the Guidos of today are or considered.
Why should people come out and see this play?
Because they're going to have a good time. Nothing more than that. Come out, have a good time, laugh, see theater.
Because it's for everyone. Like, I can relate to it, and I'm from Kansas. It's funny, and then there's times where like I'm sitting in the dressing room and I have chills, like every night.
It represents a lot of different things. It represents different eras. It represents comedy, poignancy. People are very moved by it. And you don't have to be Italian American, because we've had people so far in the audiences that are from so many different cultures and they get it.
It's a great play. If you grew up anywhere in the tri-state area, I think you'll know each one of these characters. You know, it might have been the guy across the street, might have been your cousin, might have been your dad.
The show is well written. It touches home to a lot of people for a lot of different areas, and it's very entertaining.
What does the future hold for the play?
we're looking to take this play and find a permanent home for it. But until we do, we'll be like all the great Guidos in the past, cruising around looking for somewhere to settle down. So we'll be out there in the Bronx, New Jersey, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Staten Island, wherever we could bring this show.